Wichita State led the Missouri Valley Conference in three-point shooting, and Tennessee this past season set a school record for three-point percentage. Both teams are using that this afternoon. We are deadlocked at 50 with just under 12 minutes to play in regulation.
And both teams really shooting the ball well in the second half after poor shooting performances in the first half. Wichita State 6 of 7 in the second half. Tennessee 10 of 13.
Tennessee shot 28% in the first 20 minutes of this game. So you're right, a big improvement. Martin did a good job catching the ball.
That's a heck of a catch on the inside and a very easy shot once he caught the ball. Wichita State continues to get great position on the inside.
C.J. Watson is still on the bench with foul trouble for Tennessee. Thus Howell is in with Bradshaw and Lofton. Wingate is on the bench as well, the big center for the Volunteers. We've got Andre Patterson in there and Asunu, 5 for the Volunteers. Lofton around Wilson. Shot clock at 8. Andre Patterson, the transfer from UCLA. 3 to shoot. Oh, they tied it up. And it goes back to the Shockers.
That was excellent defense by Wichita State. Tennessee, a lot of times in their half-court offense, what they like to do is penetrate into the lane and then pitch it back out for a 3. And that time, Wichita State did not allow Tennessee to get penetration into the lane. And when Patterson finally did get close to the basket, they were able to tip it away and finally block the shot.
Tennessee, Juwan Smith has come back in. Asunu is back on the bench. Here's Couisnard to Martin. That has been a nice thing, and they're finding Martin inside with regularity in the second half.
Now, Martin a little bit bigger, a little bit quicker than Dane Bradshaw, and he's taken advantage of what has become a bit of a mismatch, and Bruce Pearl with a timeout to talk about it.
Interior defense has been a problem for the Tennessee Volunteers this season. And the Shockers cashing in right there, up now by 4.
To the true fan, the whole year comes down to just one weekend. The 2006 NCAA Men's Final Four. In the biggest ticket giveaway in NCAA history, only Pontiac is sending 100 fans to see it live. You have until Monday, March 20th to get to your Pontiac dealer. Get your ID number, log it in at ncaasports.com/Pontiac, and see if these seats will be yours when the Final Four comes down to just one. Pontiac, official performance machines of the NCAA.
Just sit right back and grab some tails, the tails of some tasty shrimp. Sensations now at Applebee's are really worth the trip. Sauteed, crisp fried, fire grilled, served on a handy skewer. So many shrimp you'll want to plan a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. So join us here this week, my friend. It's time for eating good.
Really an impressive offensive second half thus far for Wichita State as you get a look at what's coming up here. Montana against Boston College, Texas A&M against LSU. See the tip times over there. They're in Eastern time.
Wingate has come back in for Tennessee. Lofton is picked up by Bryant. A 3 by Chris Lofton. Off Wilson, off Wichita State, Tennessee's ball.
Tennessee, of course, we've talked a couple of times. They were only picked to finish 5th in the Eastern Division. They started out very well, winning 19 of their first 22 games, stumbling a little bit down the stretch. Won the opening round game here against Winthrop in a really good defensive battle.
Bruce Pearl said he had no idea that they'd be this good. After taking Wisconsin-Milwaukee to the Sweet 16 last year, Wingate inside, puts in another. He's got 10 coming off a 15-point game the other day against Winthrop. Geary is back in the game. Couisnard and Breyer at the point. Martin and Wilson down low. That's the Wichita 5.
And now with Wingate back in the game, a much bigger lineup for Tennessee, but Miller remains on the bench for Wichita State.
Wingate had a block right there moments ago. He took it inside.
Well, he's matched up against Kyle Wilson, and he's got Wilson a couple of inches and more than a few pounds and just powers the ball to the basket.
Patterson for Tennessee just picked up his 4th personal foul. Bradshaw looks to be taking his place.
And Patterson really, I think that hurts Tennessee because Patterson gives them some flexibility on the inside that they will miss when he's not there. Boy, but what a game Wilson has had. And, you know, that's been the story of Wichita State all season long. In various games, different guys score the points. It's somebody in each game, somebody like Miller today not scoring at his normal average. Well, here's Wilson. He averages 11 points a game, and now he's got 17. So the pieces to the puzzle fit very nice for Wichita State. Now Miller's back in as Wilson takes a rest.
There's Jackie Wilson, Carl's mom. Free throw shooting today, Wichita State 13 of 16. Tennessee just 4 of 4. Here's Wingate in the sandwich of defense. Miller back in. That's that one and foul. Miller has never gotten on track today for Wichita State.
Well, that's a very tough assignment for Miller down on the inside. You have Watson in the game. You have Juwan Smith in the game. You have Loft in the game if you're Tennessee. So the guys from Wichita State can't come down and help him against Major Wingate. And Wingate is just so big and powerful, he backs him right to the goal.
We're talking about Tennessee moments ago and how Bruce Pearl thought, you know, I don't know what kind of team I'm taking over. Last year, the team was 14 and 17 and finished 5th. In the Southeastern Conference East, and that's what they were predicted to finish this year, too, like you said.
And they ended up winning the regular season championship.
O'Geary. Watson is back in for Tennessee. 9.5 to play.
I think if they're going to win this game, Wichita State is going to have to get bigger contributions from Miller and O'Geary.
Watson poked it away, and it rolls to the other end. And because it was last touched by Tennessee, not an over and back, and 11 seconds on the shot clock and a Tennessee foul.
Boy, and that's a bad foul because Wichita State was 50 feet from the basket. There was 11 seconds left on the shot clock. You don't see Bradshaw make very many mistakes. Nice tip away by Watson. And Couisnard, I think, for a moment thought that it would be an over and back, and he just steps right into Bradshaw's path. Draws the foul, be a one-on-one opportunity.
Bradshaw picks up his second personal foul. Couisnard nails the first free throw. He was a defensive specialist in the Missouri Valley Conference this past season.
But he's the leader in assists for Wichita State.
Isn't that amazing? It's an interesting combination.
Well, he's third on the team in offensive rebounds, and he leads the team in assists. Basically from a wing position.
His game has contained 8 ties and 6 lead changes. Tennessee is led by 1 twice. Juwan Smith back in for Tennessee.
With Smith, Watson, and Lofton in the game at the same time, it really puts the pressure on the perimeter defense from Wichita State.
Shot clock at 6. Lofton double teamed, and Wingate cleans it up and fouled inside. And right now, he is the big thing that Wichita State cannot figure out.
Well, Wichita State has to jump out. Miller has to jump out and help against the three-point shooters, and nobody's left for Wingate. That's the kind of pressure that those three-point shooters put on a defense. You got to jump out and help on the screen. Wingate does a great job going to the basket.
Bruce Pearl's wife, Kim, watching, and she says she has a hard time not only watching the game, but especially free throws. It's just something that she just can't keep her eye on. Makes her too nervous.
Well, how many times do you see that? Just failure to block out on a free throw gives the opposition another opportunity. Tennessee is a team that can make you pay for it. It's a very interesting lineup in the game for Tennessee.
Uh-oh. Watson is down. Shot clock at 6. Lofton for the tie.
Are you kidding me? He shot that from that ribbon out on the court.
And now the pressure defense builds as the momentum continues for the Volunteers. Kieran Bradley is in with the ball. Tennessee is at 18 second chance points. They've got 15 offensive rebounds. They have used those things in three-point shooting to come back and tie at 58. There is a 3 which is missed by O'Geary, and now a chance to take a lead with Juwan Smith leading the way.
And then we said Smith, also an excellent three-point shooter with Watson, Smith, and Lofton in the game at the same time. An awful lot of firepower for Tennessee. And there's the turnover. There's the pressure.
Bruce Pearl's Tennessee Volunteers have nailed 8 threes. They've come back from 6 down to take their biggest lead this afternoon. And fans, you can vote for the Pontiac game-changing performance of this round. Nearly $150,000 of scholarship contributions are on the line. Vote now at ncaasports.com/Pontiac. A 7-0 run by Tennessee. Shooting 68% in the second half, and Wingate dives inside but called for the travel.
It's a very important time for Wichita State to respond. Tennessee has had a couple of mini runs, 6-0, 5-0, and Wichita State has been able to respond. This is a situation where Tennessee has really turned up the heat defensively.
Couisnard has it. Bradley, Geary, Wilson, Miller, the Wichita State 5. Approaching 7 to play in regulation. Bradley to Miller. Wingate defended. Keeps him outside, and that affected the shot. Look at Couisnard trying to vacuum it in, and finally picked up by Jawan Smith of Tennessee. With Watson and Bradshaw, Asumnu, and Wingate.
Wingate not only has scored 13 points, but I think his defense against Miller has been nothing short of outstanding.
Bradshaw lasers it inside for Asumnu. Miller got a hand on it. Smith with a 3. Knocked away by Bradley, out of bounds and off of Tennessee. We've had some kind of game. Wichita State's biggest lead 6. Tennessee's biggest lead is 3.
And the turnover is really a story of the game. Wichita State here in the second half has also turned the ball over. They get themselves in a tough spot. And we get a jump ball call, and that will turn it over to Tennessee. So there is another turnover. Wichita State really not doing a very good job here in the last few minutes, staying out of those trapping areas on the sideline. What a great job by Wingate, moving his feet. The little guard can't get around him. Bruce Pearl making it a triple team over there, although he tried to act like he wasn't.
Breyer comes in. Bradley checks out for Wichita State.
I think Bruce Pearl he'd have gotten a foul called on him, and he reached in. It was good discipline not to reach in.
Watson playing with a bit of foul trouble. Wingate has made a difference since he's been in the contest. And a 3 by Lofton. That's the 14th three-point try he has attempted today. And Wilson trying to save it. Broken up on the play by Asumnu, and a foul on Asumnu.
Asumnu has been all over the place in this game. There he tries to get the rebound. Wilson saves it. Asumnu going to get called for the foul because he not only throws the ball out of bounds, he throws O'Geary out of bounds with it.
And here is O'Geary at the free throw line. I mentioned this the other day. He set the single-season Wichita State record for three-pointers made.
Boy, but he has been very, very quiet today. A critical miss in a one-on-one situation.
Asumnu into Breyer. Bradshaw fighting for it for Tennessee, but Miller gobbles it up. And the Shockers the other way. Couisnard with it.
Boy, Wichita State desperate for a basket.
And Miller trying to provide it. Rebound by Lofton. Wichita State, no field goals in the last 5 minutes. Miller with the rejection.
I think he's going to be called for a foul.
Floor. I think you're right. Watson was the one slammed to the floor.
That's the way Tennessee wants to play. They get the ball out quickly. They run it down the court. And here's Watson going hard, hard to the goal.
42.
Tennessee, particularly the last couple of minutes, Kevin, has really been in a tremendous attack mode, both on offense and on defense. And Wichita State has not been able to respond.
I mean, this is one of those teams, Tennessee, where their defense really does fuel their offense. They pressure like that. I'm sure that just gets things rolling.
And when they get rolling, the only way you can stop the roll is to score on your end of the court. And Wichita State just hasn't been able to do that. O'Geary and Miller have basically been shut off by Tennessee today.
Tennessee's got their biggest lead. They're riding a 9-0 run. Here comes Bradley back in the game, and over Watson tries to find 2 and does.
Boy, that is a big, big shot, and now Wichita State has to dig in on the defensive end here. Tennessee is been doing a great job in the half court. These three guards in the lineup at the same time have really created some problems for Wichita State.
Wingate set a nice screen, but Lofton couldn't capitalize on it. Here comes Breyer again.
Well, Lofton, we're not sure about what his range is. He keeps moving further and further up, but we are certain that he has no conscience.
It is a sliding scale, you're right. Wilson with Wingate right there and deflected out of bounds by Watson. The shot clock at 19, the big clock at 5:05.
You have those three guards, all of whom are extremely capable three-point shooters as you look at Lofton's numbers today. And Tennessee just put such pressure on Wichita State that Wingate has been able to have pretty free reign down on the inside, and he's taken advantage of it.
Wichita State has not been to the Sweet 16 since 1981. Tennessee hasn't been there since 2000. They double-team Miller. Somehow holds on to the ball. Bradley in there fighting, and Jawan Smith grabs it for the Volunteers.
That was a really, really tough shot by Miller.
Jawan Smith has 8 rebounds for Tennessee. He has looked good.
Miller double teamed that time, tries to get out of the double team. The fadeaway shot, again, that's a close look at the basket, but it's not a good look at the basket. He's heavily defended in there.
Wichita State has 17 fouls. Tennessee has 8. First trip to the free throw line for Bradshaw.
You saw Miller with 9 points, Kevin, but he only has 1 field goal in the game. 7 of Miller's 9 points coming from the free throw line.
Bradshaw is from Memphis. Grabs his own miss. Yeah,
Wingate tipped it back.
He did. Lofton, good ball rotation to Watson. There's Smith, who's got 8 points and 8 rebounds. That's a foul. Watson picked it up. And now Watson is assessed his 4th foul, and it comes with 4:31 to play.
And that Watson's going to have to come out of the game, and Tennessee has gotten on such a good run with that 3-guard lineup. Watson's ability to penetrate and create openings, plus his ability to supply defensive pressure, has really helped Tennessee during this stretch.
Jordan Howell will take the place of C.J. Watson.
And now without Watson in the game, Tennessee backs off on the pressure.
Kusnard.
Oh, he didn't realize he had a lane to the basket.
Oh, Geary for the tie. Wichita State has just pounded in their 8th three-point shot of the day, matching the 8 of Tennessee.
You got to find Lofton in this situation if you're the Wichita State defense. And Wingate has a big advantage on, has at least a slight advantage on the inside against Wilson.
Lofton with the 3. That is the 25th three-point attempt by the Tennessee Volunteers today, the 16th by Lofton. He's at 5.
Tennessee with 15 offensive rebounds in this game. 17, excuse me. I got more than I can count.
Lofton lobbing it inside Wingate.
Well, what a great look by Lofton.
Wingate's got 15 to match his 15 from Thursday. And that basket by Wingate ended a 6 consecutive field goal miss streak for the Volunteers. Harkness screen. Kusnard inside and for the tie.
And another screen by Martin. Screened the defender away. Nice slashing move by Kusnard. Great play.
We've had 11 ties. Inside plays by Wingate. Timeout.
State shooting 2 from here on in.
Watson and Patterson out there for Tennessee. Wingate remains. Jawan Smith and Lofton.
Spreading the court, looking inside for Wingate.
Here is Wingate against Kyle Wilson, and doubled by Martin. And he throws it away.
That was that nice job defensively by Wichita State.
Turnover number 8 for Tennessee. And a tie game. Kevin Harlan, Dan Bonner, Greensboro, North Carolina. 2:40 and the clock ticking.
Wichita State has shot 65% from the field in the second half. Kusnard has 16 points on the day. He has been huge with his ability to get to the goal.
This is O'Geary, picked up by Lofton.
O'Geary has hit a couple of threes here in the second half. He's only got 8 points, but he's scored 6 of those in the second half.
Not a lot of size on that floor for either team. Bradley for the lead.
Oh, tough shot.
Approaching 2 to play in regulation. That was our 8th lead change of the afternoon. Bradshaw for the lead. Missing that 3. Wichita State's got it.
An important defensive rebound. That's an area where Wichita State has had problems. Tennessee has 18 offensive rebounds, 19 second chance points, but now Wichita State chance to make it a 2-possession game. Good pressure.
Bradley, O'Geary for 3. Offensive rebound by Martin, who has been indispensable in this first and second round.
Absolutely. We just talked about Tennessee and their offensive rebounding. That's number 9 for Wichita State. None bigger than that one by Martin. Want to play tough defense here without fouling. Clock running down. Bradley or Couisnard going to try to create.
Now with the shot clock down to 5, Couisnard for 3.
What a shot! My heavens!
Wichita State is on a 12-2 run as Smith was diving in the lane for Tennessee. It's a 5-point shocker lead.
This is reminiscent of the basket at the end of the first half, but this one was further away. The defender, Dane Bradshaw, right there. Boy, Couisnard only a 33% three-point shooter on the year. He's now got 19 in the game. He has had a huge game.
19 is a game high. 17 by Lofton leads Tennessee. Smith at the line. And he is 2 of 2 this afternoon.
Oh.
Martin leaves. Miller comes back in for Wichita State, and when that move was made by Turgeon, Bruce Pearl put in Major Wingate, the big center for the Volunteers. Missing 2 right there, and a rebound by Kyle Wilson. Lofton is on O'Geary, and a foul on Lofton.
Well, the reason Martin went out of the game, Kevin, is Mark Turgeon took him out because Martin, as valuable as he has been, is only a 53% free throw shooter. Mark Turgeon has his best free throw guys in the game, and O'Geary, we showed you before, 85% on the year. Although he missed his only attempt earlier, he's got 2 shots right now.
It was 25 years ago that Wichita State last went to the Sweet 16, and they are 50 seconds away from doing it under 6th-year head coach Mark Turgeon. They've got their biggest lead. Up by 7. Here comes C.J. Watson for the Volunteers.
Well, they don't need a 3, but whatever they get, they have to get it quickly.
Wingate the screen, Lofton a 3. Timeout, Tennessee.
I'm telling you, as long as that Lofton is on the court, and he can literally be anywhere on the court, he's a danger, and Tennessee's still in it.
Lofton has made 6 threes. He's got 20 points.
It's an entirely different class of Mercedes-Benz, the R-Class Grand.
Today's Chevrolet players of the game: P.J. Couisnard with 19 points and 8 rebounds, and Major Wingate another 15-point performance with 7 boards for the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee led by 3. They took Watson out because of foul trouble, and then things began to swing the way of the Shockers, and just under 40 seconds left in regulation. Miller, and fouled on the play by Patterson.
Of course, the adventure when you're playing against Tennessee is to even get the ball in bounds, and Miller there is an outlet. That's Patterson's 5th personal foul. Miller is in the game because he's a 74% free throw shooter.
Patterson is gone. He played much better in the first game Thursday.
Well, even though he only had 2 points today, Kevin, he had 4 assists and 6 rebounds, and so he was a factor for Tennessee. But once again, just as on Thursday, he was limited by foul trouble.
7 of 8 from the free throw line for Paul Miller, the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. To have a big man that can shoot free throws is a huge luxury.
Well, to have anybody who can shoot free throws is a big luxury, particularly when you're trying to make them at the end of the game. Now Martin comes back in for defensive purposes.
Wilson will take a breather for Wichita State.
Better find Lofton and guard him. Even out there.
A three by Lofton, a rebound by Cousineau, and a foul by Bradshaw. 27.2 left. Mark Turgeon has learned from the best. Larry Brown at Kansas and Roy Williams. He's had a small stint in the NBA. He was the head coach at Jacksonville State for a couple years and winding up his 6th season with the Shockers down in Wichita. He's a Kansas boy. He was born and raised in Topeka.
Very interesting. We were talking to him yesterday about the influence of another coach, Jerry Green, the former head coach at Tennessee, and he said the one thing he learned from Jerry Green was how to build a program, and he used a lot of the lessons that he learned with Jerry Green at Oregon about building a program. And certainly Wichita State, Mark Turgeon will tell you, it's taken him longer than he thought.
Cousineau.
But he's got the Wichita State Shockers here on the verge of the Sweet 16, although there's still plenty of time for these three-point shooters.
C.J. Watson for three. That's exactly what he wanted to do. And that's a quick foul. Jawan Smith fouls Bradley. 3-point game, 20.4 to play.
Bradley, a 67% free throw shooter, so Wichita State leaving some points at the free throw line right here. Watson, we said he's an outstanding three-point shooter. That was a very, very good look at the basket, considering that they were limited to threes. Wichita State, not a good defensive job.
Wichita State has taken 13 more free throw attempts than Tennessee this afternoon.
Well, even if he makes this one, it's a two-possession game. Tennessee still has time to get the ball down the court and get a three. I really think that's what you have to do in this situation, is get that three.
Bradley is on Watson. Watson decides to drive.
Well, he gets the quick two, so now you're down to the one-possession game.
And 13.7 to play. Wichita State will have it when we come back to Greensboro. Our 2-7 matchup this afternoon has contained 11 ties and 8 lead changes. Wichita State is led by as many as 7. Tennessee is led by as many as 5.
Maybe the most important number right there is timeouts for Wichita State, because they're going to have to get the ball inbounds against Tennessee. Tennessee can make that very, very difficult.
Cousineau throws it out to O'Geary. Ooh, and he collides with Bradshaw, who took it right in the face. Slowly helped up by Wingate.
Nice job by Wichita State. That's the guy you want to have handle the ball. O'Geary is going to catch it going away from the basket. Bradshaw trying to give the foul, really gets whacked across the bridge of the nose.
So at the free throw line is O'Geary, who is 2 of 3 today at the stripe.
Got to make at least one of these to keep the pressure on Tennessee. See, the problem is when you go down and you make that 2, Kevin, and you got to take what the defense gives you, but when you go down and make that 2, if you foul and the other guys go up and make 2, then you simply traded points, and with this little time left in the game, you can't afford that.
Timeout, Wichita State. Their lead is at 5 with 12.2 to play.
5, 4.
Wichita State with a 5-point lead, 12.2 to play. Wichita State is the 7th seed in the Washington, D.C. regional, and Tennessee is the 2 seed. The last time a Missouri Valley Conference team went to the Sweet 16, Southern Illinois in 2002.